Good day, my friends. This is your moment. This is your season. This is your time to step into the fullness of who you are meant to be. For too long, the world has tried to put limits on you, told you what you can't do, what you shouldn't do, how you ought to behave. But I came to tell you today, you are not bound by the opinions of others. You are not limited by your past. You are not defined by your struggles. Some of you have been carrying weight that was never yours to bear. You've been walking with burdens that were never meant for your shoulders. But I declare today, by the power within you, that weight is coming off. The chains are breaking. The doors are opening. There's a power inside you that cannot be stopped, a fire that cannot be extinguished, a purpose that cannot be denied. The very things that were meant to break you, oh, they are about to build you. The rejection, the heartbreak, the failure, every piece of your pain has been preparing you for something greater. You don't need anyone's permission to rise. You don't need validation to walk in your calling. Stand up, woman of strength. Walk boldly, woman of vision. Speak with authority, woman of wisdom. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You were born for such a time as this. I dare you to shake off the doubt. I dare you to silence the voices that say you're not enough. I dare you to believe that your best days are still ahead. The storm may be raging, but you are stronger than the storm. The mountain may be high, but you are made to climb. The battle may be fierce, but you were born to win. Woman, this message is your wake-up call. This is your breakthrough moment. It's time to rise, to step out, to walk into everything that has been prepared for you. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. The time is then, oh, there are moments in life when we look back and feel like our past is a heavy weight tied around our ankles, holding us down, keeping us from moving forward. We carry the scars of yesterday, the mistakes, the regrets, the moments we wish we could erase. We replay the things that broke us, the betrayals that shattered our trust, the failures that made us feel unworthy. But today I need you to hear me. You are not defined by your past. It doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter how many times you've fallen, how many wrong turns you've taken, how many doors were slammed in your face. Your past does not determine your future. Your past does not have the final say. You do. So many of us have lived under the shadow of our past for far too long. We've allowed our mistakes to become labels. We've allowed our failures to become chains. We've allowed people to remind us of who we used to be, as if we are not capable of becoming something greater. But I came to tell you today that who you were is not who you are destined to be. You may have made some bad decisions, but you are not your mistakes. You may have experienced heartbreak, but you are not broken beyond repair. You may have struggled, but your struggles do not define your worth. Life is not about where you've been, it's about where you are going. And as long as there is breath in your body, you still have a future worth fighting for. One of the greatest weapons the enemy will use against you is shame. Shame will tell you that because you made a mistake, you are a mistake. Shame will whisper in your ear that you will never be good enough, never be worthy of love, never deserve success. But that is a lie. Shame is a prison, and the longer you stay in it, the harder it is to believe that you can be free. But today I challenge you to let go of shame. Stop punishing yourself for what is already in the past. Stop carrying burdens that were never meant for you to carry. Stop believing that your failures disqualify you from happiness, success, or purpose. Everyone has a past, everyone has a story, but the people who rise are the ones who refuse to let their past hold them captive. Hear me when I say this, your past was not meant to break you, it was meant to teach you. The things you went through were not for nothing. The pain, the struggle, the disappointment had a purpose. You see, what the enemy meant for harm, God will turn around for your good. Every tear you cried, every door that closed, every failure that made you feel small, God is using it to shape you, to refine you, to make you stronger. Think about it. If you never went through hard times, how would you learn resilience? If you never experienced heartbreak, how would you understand the power of healing? If you never failed, how would you discover the strength to rise again? Your past is not something to be ashamed of. It is something to learn from. It is your training ground, not your tombstone. Some of the most powerful people in the world have the most painful past. Some of the greatest leaders, the strongest warriors, the most successful individuals have stories filled with rejection, failure, and loss. But do you know what sets them apart? They didn't allow their past to keep them from stepping into their future. They didn't let their pain become their identity. They used their struggles as fuel to push forward. One of the hardest battles you will ever fight is the battle against people's opinions. People will try to remind you of who you used to be. They will bring up your past as if it is a prophecy of your future. They will say, oh, you'll never change, or remember what you did back then. But let me tell you something, people don't have the power to define you. People may remember your past, but they don't get to decide your future. They don't get to put a limit on your potential. They don't get to tell you what you can and cannot become. The only voice that matters is the voice inside of you that refuses to stay stuck. The voice that says, I am more than my mistakes. I am more than my failures. I am more than what they say about me. But do you know why you can't let your past define you? Because your future is too important. Your purpose is too great. Your destiny is too powerful. There is a calling on your life that cannot be canceled by your past mistakes. There is a future ahead of you that is greater than anything behind you. But you have to make a choice. Will you keep looking back, or will you move forward? Will you keep reliving the pain, or will you step into healing? Will you keep believing that you are not enough, or will you rise up and claim the life that is waiting for you? You cannot drive forward while looking in the rearview mirror. You cannot embrace what is ahead while clinging to what is behind. At some point, you have to say, enough is enough. At some point, you have to let go of the past so you can fully embrace the future. Woman, you are stronger than your past. You are greater than your struggles. You are more powerful than your pain. The things that tried to destroy you, oh, they are about to push you into your purpose. The things that tried to break you, oh, they are about to become the testimony that sets someone else free. Stop waiting for permission to be great. Stop waiting for validation to move forward. You don't need anyone to tell you that you are worthy. You already are. You don't need anyone to approve of your growth. Just keep growing. You don't need anyone to believe in you. Just believe in yourself. Stand up, woman of strength. Rise up, woman of power. Step out, woman of faith. Your past is behind you, your purpose is ahead of you, and your destiny is calling your name. There comes a moment in life when you must decide, do you want to stay bound by the limitations that have been placed upon you, or do you want to rise above them? Do you want to keep believing the lies that tell you, you can't do this, you're not strong enough, you're not smart enough, you don't have what it takes? Or do you want to shake off those limitations and step into the fullness of who you were created to be? Too many people are living beneath their potential, not because they are incapable, but because they have allowed limitations, whether self-imposed or placed upon them by others, to hold them back. They have accepted labels, embraced fear, and settled for less than what they were meant for. But I came to tell you today, it's time to shake off the limitations. From the moment we are born, the world starts placing limits on us. Society tells us what we can and cannot do, what we should and should not dream of. Family expectations, cultural norms, past failures, personal fears, all of these things work together to create an invisible prison that keeps us from stepping into our true power. Maybe someone told you you'll never be successful, and so you stopped trying. Maybe life has thrown so many obstacles in your way that you started believing, I guess I'm just not meant for greatness. Maybe you've been conditioned to think that people like you don't get ahead in life, that you weren't born into the right circumstances, that you don't have the right connections, that you don't deserve to have more. But let me tell you something, those are lies. They are meant to keep you small. They are meant to keep you in a place of fear, and as long as you accept them, they will hold you captive. The mind is powerful. What you believe about yourself determines what you will become. If you believe you are limited, you will live a limited life. If you believe you are not capable, you will never reach your full potential. But if you dare to believe that you are greater than the limitations that have been placed on you, nothing can stop you. Think about a baby elephant. When it is young, it is tied to a small stake in the ground. It pulls and pulls, but it is not strong enough to break free. Eventually, it stops trying. Even when the elephant grows into a massive, powerful animal, it still believes it cannot break free. Why? Because the limitation is not in the stake, it's in its mind. Some of you are living like that elephant. You have been conditioned to believe that you cannot go further, that you cannot break free. But what if I told you that the thing holding you back is not as powerful as you think? What if I told you that you are stronger than you know? What if I told you that the only thing standing between you and your destiny is a decision to shake off the limitations and step boldly into your future? Fear is the enemy of progress, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of stepping outside of your comfort zone. Fear is the voice that whispers, what if you try and fail? What if people laugh at you? What if you're not good enough? But let me ask you something, what if you try and succeed? What if you discover a strength inside you that you never knew existed? What if the life you've been dreaming of is waiting for you, but you have to take that first step? The truth is, failure is not what keeps people stuck, it's the fear of failure. People don't even try because they are too afraid of what might happen. But listen to me, failure is not the end of the road. Failure is just part of the journey. Every successful person you admire has failed. Every great leader, every entrepreneur, every innovator, they all had moments when things didn't go as planned. But do you know what they didn't do? They didn't let failure define them. They shook off the limitation and kept going. Some people won't believe in you. Some people will doubt you. Some people will try to put you in a box, telling you what you can and cannot achieve. But their opinion does not determine your destiny. That dream is too big. You're not qualified for that. People like you don't succeed. And maybe you started to believe them. Maybe you started shrinking yourself to fit in the box they created for you. But I need you to hear me today. Break out of that box. You do not need their approval to be great. You do not need their validation to succeed. The only thing you need is a determination that I refuse to be limited. Some of the greatest success stories are from people who refuse to let limitations define them. Look at history. So many world changers were told they would never make it. They were told they weren't good enough, weren't smart enough, didn't have the right background. But they didn't listen. They pressed forward. They broke the barriers. And today we know their names. So I ask you, will you be one of them? Will you be the person who refuses to be limited? Will you be the one who pushes past the barriers and walks boldly into your destiny? If you want to live a life without limitations, you must make a decision. You must decide that you will no longer let fear control you. You must decide that other people's opinions will not dictate your future. You must decide that you are greater than your circumstances. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The time is now. Stop doubting yourself. You are more than enough. Stop looking at what you lack. Focus on what you have. It's time to shake off the doubt, shake off the fear, shake off the insecurities. It's time to break every chain that has been holding you back. It's time to step into the fullness of who you were meant to be. Woman, you are powerful. You are strong. You are capable. Nothing can stop you unless you allow it to. Shake off the fear of failure. Shake off the lies that say you're not enough. Shake off the doubts that have been holding you back. You were created for more. You were designed for greatness. You were meant to rise. And as long as you are still breathing, your story is not over. The best is yet to come. So stand up, woman of purpose. Walk boldly, woman of strength. Shake off the chains. Shake off the limitations and step into the life you were destined to live. Life has a way of testing us. It throws challenges in our path, obstacles we never expected, pain we never asked for. And in those moments when the struggle feels unbearable, when we feel like we have nothing left to give, it's easy to wonder, why is this happening to me? Why am I going through this? But what if I told you that your struggles are not meant to break you? They are meant to build you. What if I told you that the very pain you are experiencing right now is shaping you for something greater? What if I told you that every hardship, every setback, every disappointment is a stepping stone to something beyond what you could ever imagine? I need you to understand something today. Your struggles are not in vain. Every tear you've cried, every battle you've fought, every sleepless night you've endured, it is all working together to prepare you for a future that is greater than anything you can see right now. Gold is not purified in comfort. Diamonds are not formed without pressure. Strength is not built without resistance. If you want to be great, if you want to walk in your purpose, if you want to step into everything that has been prepared for you, you must first be refined. And refinement is never easy. Think about a blacksmith. When they want to create something strong and powerful, they take metal and put it into the fire. The fire burns away the impurities. The fire softens the metal so that it can be shaped into something useful. And when it comes out of the fire, it is stronger, more durable, more valuable than before. Some of you are in the fire right now. Life is heating up. The pressure is on, and you're wondering, why am I going through this? But I came to tell you, the fire is refining you. It is burning away everything that is not meant for your next level. It is shaping you into the person you need to be in order to handle the blessings that are coming your way. You see, if you never struggled, you would never grow. If everything came easy, you would never develop the strength, the wisdom, the resilience needed to sustain success. Every great person you admire has walked through fire. They have been tested. They have been pushed to the edge. And it was in that struggle that they discovered who they really were. Pain is one of life's greatest teachers. It teaches us things we could never learn in times of comfort. It reveals our true character. It shows us what we are made of. Maybe you've been betrayed by someone you trusted. That pain taught you discernment. Maybe you've lost something or someone dear to you. That pain taught you gratitude. Maybe you failed and it felt like the end of the world, but that failure taught you resilience. Everything you go through is a lesson. Everything you endure is equipping you with something you will need in the future. The pain may not make sense right now, but one day you will look back and realize that it was preparing you for something far greater than you could have imagined. Strength is not built in ease. It is built in struggle. Muscles grow by being torn and rebuilt. Trees grow their deepest roots in the toughest storms. And you are being strengthened by every battle you face. There are things you have survived that would have destroyed other people. There are things you have walked through that should have broken you. But you're still here. You're still standing. And do you know why? Because you are stronger than you think. The struggles you have faced were not meant to bury you, they were meant to build you. You may not have seen it at the time, but every challenge has added to your strength. Every hardship has made you wiser. Every disappointment has deepened your capacity for greatness. Some of the struggles you face are not meant to stop you, they are meant to steer you. Sometimes when doors close, it's because they were never meant for you in the first place. Sometimes when people walk away, it's because they were never supposed to be part of your journey. Rejection can feel painful, but often it is redirection. You may have been turned down for a job, but maybe that's because something better is waiting for you. You may have been abandoned by someone you love, but maybe that's because you were meant to experience a greater love. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Start asking, what is this teaching me? Where is this leading me? What greater plan is unfolding in my life? Every closed door, every no, every setback, it is all part of a bigger picture that you cannot see yet. Trust that the struggles are moving you towards something better. When you are in the middle of a struggle, it can feel like it will never end. It can feel like you will always be stuck in the same cycle of pain, disappointment, or hardship. But I want to remind you today, this is temporary. This moment of pain is not forever. The storm will not last always. Seasons change. The sun always rises again. And just as you have faced dark times before and made it through, you will make it through this. But what you gain from this struggle, the wisdom, the strength, the perseverance, that will stay with you forever. Some of the most powerful testimonies come from people who have endured the greatest struggles. Some of the strongest, most impactful individuals are the ones who have been through the fire and come out on the other side. There is something greater waiting for you. There is a future ahead of you that is bigger than your past, greater than your pain, and beyond what you can imagine right now. But to reach it, you must first go through the process. Think of a caterpillar. It must go through the darkness of the cocoon before it can spread its wings and fly. The process may be painful. The transformation may be difficult. But on the other side of the struggle is something beautiful. Every day you keep going, you are getting stronger. Every time you push forward, you are getting closer to your breakthrough. Your struggles are preparing you for greater. Your pain is producing purpose. Your hardship is leading to something bigger than you can imagine. So stand strong, keep fighting, keep believing, keep pushing forward, because your greater is coming. And when it does, you will look back and realize that every struggle was worth it. There is something inside of you that is greater than any obstacle, stronger than any setback, and more powerful than any limitation that has ever tried to hold you back. It is not given to you by people, and it cannot be taken away by circumstances. It is a force so strong that once you tap into it, nothing will be able to stop you. That power is within you. It has always been there. But too many people live their entire lives never realizing what they carry. They go through life feeling small, feeling inadequate, feeling as though they don't have what it takes to rise, to conquer, to overcome. They allow their fears to silence them, their past to define them, and their doubts to limit them. You were not created to live a life of defeat. You were not meant to struggle endlessly without victory. You were not designed to be weak or insignificant. You were formed with purpose, built with strength, and infused with a power that can shake the very foundations of whatever is standing in your way. This power is not something that comes and goes depending on how you feel. It is not based on external conditions. It is not determined by what other people say about you. It is an unshakable, undeniable force that was placed within you from the very beginning. Maybe you've been told that you're not enough. Maybe life has made you feel like you don't matter. But let me tell you something. People's opinions do not define you. Your past mistakes do not define you. Your circumstances do not define you. The only thing that defines you is the power that resides inside of you. It is the power to overcome. It is the power to rise above your struggles. It is the power to break free from every chain that has tried to hold you back. It is the power to step into your destiny and walk with authority. You do not have to live defeated. You do not have to accept a life that is less than what you were created for. The moment you recognize the power within you, everything begins to change. You might be asking, if I have so much power inside of me, why don't I feel it? Why does my life look nothing like what you're describing? The reason so many people fail to experience the power within them is because they have not yet awakened to it. Power that is never activated remains dormant. It's like having an electrical outlet. There is power available, but until you plug into it, you will never see the results. The power within you has to be stirred up. It has to be called forth. And the way you awaken that power is by shifting your mindset, refusing to settle, and stepping boldly into who you were meant to be. You must first believe that the power is inside of you. If you go through life thinking you are weak, thinking you are powerless, thinking that you are at the mercy of your circumstances, you will never tap into what's inside of you. You are not a victim. You are not defeated. You are not someone who was meant to live a small life. The moment you shift your mindset and begin to declare, there is power inside of me, you start to activate what has been there all along. Too many people live beneath their potential because they settle for less. They accept mediocrity. They accept struggle as their portion. They accept defeat as normal. But let me tell you something. You were not born to settle. You were born to thrive. You were born to rise. You were born to rise. You were born to walk in power. And if you refuse to accept anything less, you will begin to see doors open that you never imagined. Power that is not used is wasted. Once you recognize the power within you, you must step forward in boldness. That means refusing to let fear hold you back. That means standing strong even when things don't go as planned. That means walking with confidence even when you don't feel ready. You do not need permission to be great. You do not need validation to walk in power. The moment you decide to move, everything will begin to shift in your favor. Even when you recognize the power within you, there will be barriers that try to stop you. But the thing about power is that it doesn't bow to obstacles. It doesn't retreat in the face of adversity. When you walk in power, no weapon formed against you can prosper. When you step into your true identity, nothing can hold you back. The struggles may come, but they cannot defeat you. The storms may rise, but they cannot shake. Some of you have been living like you are average. You have been accepting less than what you deserve. You have been walking through life unaware of the greatness that is inside of you. But today I need you to realize you are not ordinary. There is something inside of you that is rare. There is something inside of you that is unique. There is something inside of you that cannot be duplicated, cannot be imitated, and cannot be ignored. And the moment you start to embrace that, the moment you start to walk in that truth, everything will change. The power inside of you is not just for you. It is meant to impact others. When you walk in power, you inspire those around you to do the same. When you step into your greatness, you give others permission to rise. Think about history. Every person who changed the world had to first recognize the power within them. They had to believe in something greater than what their eyes could see. They had to stand firm in their truth, even when others doubted them. You were not placed on this earth to simply exist. You were not created to blend in and fade away. You were born to make an impact. You were born to walk in power. You were born to leave a mark that cannot be erased. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. You don't have to wait for someone to tell you that you are ready. The power is already inside of you. It has been there all along. Will you shake off the doubt, the fear, the hesitation? Will you rise up and embrace everything that you were meant to be? Will you walk boldly, knowing that there is nothing you cannot overcome? Because the moment you do, the moment you say yes to your power, the moment you stop hiding and start living in your full potential, too many people are waiting for someone to tell them they're good enough, waiting for approval, waiting for validation, waiting for the right conditions, the right timing, the right opportunity. But let me tell you something right now. You don't need permission to be great. You were born with greatness inside of you. It was placed in you before you ever took your first breath. And yet for so many people, that greatness remains locked away, never fully realized, never fully embraced. Not because they don't have the potential, but because they have been conditioned to think they need someone else's approval before they can rise. But today, I need you to hear me. You do not need permission to walk in your destiny. You do not need someone else to validate what has already been placed inside of you. You do not need a green light from the world to step into your greatness. There is something inside of you that is powerful, something that cannot be duplicated, something that is uniquely yours. You carry talents, gifts, and abilities that were designed specifically for you. You were created to impact this world in a way that no one else can. But if you spend your life waiting for someone else to recognize that, you may never step into it. Some of the most powerful people in history were those who refused to wait for permission. They didn't wait for people to tell them they were ready. They didn't wait for the applause. They didn't wait for an easy road. They stepped into their purpose whether people believed in them or not. Greatness does not need validation. You don't need someone to tell you that you are talented. You don't need someone to approve of your dreams. You don't need to fit into a certain mold in order to be successful. You already have everything you need inside of you, but if you don't believe it, you will never act on it. One of the biggest reasons people never reach their full potential is because they are too concerned with what others think. They hold back because they fear rejection. They shrink themselves to fit into other people's expectations. They silence their own voice because they're afraid of criticism. But listen, if you live your life waiting for the approval of others, you will never truly live. Some people won't understand your vision. That's okay. It wasn't given to them, it was given to you. Some people will doubt you, but that's their problem, not yours. Some people will criticize you, but greatness has never been achieved without resistance. If you continue to wait for the world to give you permission, you will never move. And if you never move, you will never see what you are truly capable of. It is time to stop waiting and start walking. It is time to stop asking for permission and start taking action. Many people don't step into their greatness because they are afraid. Afraid of failing, afraid of making mistakes, afraid of what others will say. Fear will tell you that you're not good enough. Fear will tell you that you don't have what it takes. Fear will tell you that you will never succeed. But the truth is you were created for more. The truth is you have everything inside of you to succeed. The truth is the only thing standing between you and your destiny is your willingness to step out in faith. So what if you fail? Failure is part of the process. Every great person has failed at some point. Every successful person has faced setbacks, but the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is this: successful people don't let failure stop them. They learn from it. They grow from it. They keep going. What if I told you that someone is waiting for you to step into your greatness? What if I told you that your gift, your talent, your purpose is meant to impact a bit? There is someone out there who needs what you have to offer. There is someone who needs your words, your skills, your ideas. There is someone whose life will change because you decided to step into your calling. But if you never move, if you keep waiting for permission, that person may never receive what they need from you. You were not created to blend in. You were not created to be average. You were not created to live a life of mediocrity. You were created for impact. You were created for purpose. You were created for greatness. If you want to step into your greatness, you have to stop hesitating. You have to stop overthinking. You have to stop doubting yourself. Start pursuing the things that set your soul on fire. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. The perfect time to start is no doubt. You don't need more credentials. You don't need more approval. You don't need to fit into a certain mold. The world may try to tell you that you need permission to be great. Society may try to make you think that only certain people are meant for success. But that is a lie. Greatness is not reserved for a select few. It is not just for the rich, the famous, or the well-connected. It is for you. But you have to believe it. You have to own it. You have to walk in it. So today I challenge you, stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop holding back doubt as a silent thief. It sneaks into your mind, settles in your heart, and robs you of everything you were meant to be. Doubt will make you question yourself when you already have the answer. Doubt will make you hesitate when you were born to move. Doubt will keep you trapped in a cycle of what if and maybe until years have passed and you realize you never took the steps you were meant to take. But today I need you to hear me. It is time to break free from doubt. You were not created to live a life of hesitation. You are not designed to second-guess yourself at every turn. There is a fire inside of you, a destiny waiting to be fulfilled, but doubt is the weight that is keeping you from rising. Doubt will tell you that you're not good enough, that you're not smart enough, that you don't have what it takes. Who told you that you don't have the ability? Who convinced you that you're not qualified? Who made you believe that your dreams were too big? Truth says you were created with a purpose. Truth says you have gifts inside of you that the world needs. Truth says you are made to rise, to conquer, to thrive. But doubt is a lie. And if you don't recognize it for what it is, it will keep you bound. Where does doubt come from? It doesn't just appear out of nowhere. Doubt is learned. It is picked up from experiences, from failures, from voices that should have never had authority over your life. Maybe someone told you that you weren't capable and you believed them. Maybe you failed at something once, and now you assume you'll always fail. Maybe you've been comparing yourself to others and it's made you feel like you don't measure up. But listen, just because you have doubted in the past does not mean you have to stay in doubt. You can choose to break free. You can choose to believe something different. You can choose to rise above the limitations that doubt has placed on you. Doubt is not just a small inconvenience, it is a prison. It will hold you back from taking the opportunities that are meant for you. It will make you hesitate when you should be moving forward. It will keep you stuck in a cycle of fear and indecision. Doubt will make you shrink yourself to fit into a life that is smaller than what you were meant for. And the longer you let doubt stay, the harder it becomes to move forward. That's why you have to make a decision. Either doubt is going to rule your life, or you are going to break free from it once and for all. If you're ready to stop doubting yourself, if you're ready to step into your confidence, then you have to make some changes, because doubt does not disappear on its own. It has to be defeated. Doubt is fueled by negative beliefs. If you believe you're not good enough, doubt will always have power over you. But the moment you start to believe that you are capable, that you are strong, and that you have everything you need to succeed, doubt loses its grip. Start speaking differently about yourself. Start declaring your strengths. Start replacing every doubtful thought with truth. You are more powerful than you realize. You are more gifted than you know. And the moment you start to believe that, doubt will begin to fade. One of the biggest reasons people stay stuck in doubt is because they are waiting to feel 100% ready before they move. But let me tell you something, you will never feel completely ready. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be unknowns. There will always be a reason to hesitate, but if you wait until you have zero doubts before you take action, you will never move at all.